Now, we're going to go into, you heard it here. We've got Jags going to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's 2.5-point underdogs at home. 41 is the line. The Jags are finally looking up. I remember, Ben, we were talking about it last week, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, 2 weeks ago. The Jags, we were waiting for them to really show us something and give us something to, write home about. This is a team that we're excited about. And they've been doing that in recent weeks. They've been playing really well. I mean, Trevor's dishing the ball around. ETN is, a top 5 running back so far this season, maybe 3. He's been, phenomenal for them. Christian Kirk has emerged in recent weeks after having a good year last year, obviously signing off that big contract. Then you got Calvin Ridley, who's kind of been hit or miss. But if they can figure him out down the stretch, paired with Evan Ingram, paired with Zay Jones, who's been good at times. I mean, this is a team that's got all the pieces. One thing I think they really should do is go out and grab themselves a pass rusher. Yes, I know that was the goal with Walker by drafting him first overall. Listen, you gotta know when it's time to address an issue. And, they're just waiting around for Walker to really prove he's a number 1 overall pick. And, maybe he's just not that guy. Maybe he's just not that guy in pass rush, at least. I mean, I don't think he's doing well with anything necessarily.
No, that pick is mind-boggling. It's absolutely mind-boggling.
I mean, imagine this team with Hutchinson. Imagine this team with Hutchinson, which is who they could have had and who we both thought they should have taken.
Yes.
But one thing I will say is here, if they go ahead and they grab a pass rusher, I mean, there's definitely pass rushers around the league that they can go ahead and grab. This is a team that I feel good about taking the Jags. I feel so much better about taking the Jags, and it's pretty obvious, about taking the Jags to win the Super Bowl than I did with the second team I took with the most money, which is the Chargers. And then the Bengals are right up there with those 3. Those are the 3 teams that I put the most money on. But honestly, I feel the most confident with the Jags, even over the Bengals, even though I think that they're going to start to turn it around in recent weeks, and this week will be a big one for them. We'll talk on that in a little bit here, but Jags are 2.5-point favorites going to Pittsburgh. Crazy atmosphere there. I just think the Steelers have a lot of things to figure out. Is this defense going to be a top defense in the league? Or are they going to get, ran over like it's happened at times over the past few years? Or is this Jags offense going to prove to be as good as it looks at times? Or is it going to be another a dud week like they happen to have the past 2 seasons? So I think the pick here, I kind of want to say over. I kind of want to go over 41 points. I think that, something's to be said for the Steelers using George Pickens more. And don't get me wrong, the Jags, they've got a good set of corners, and Pickens is going to have a tough time with that matchup. But I think that Pickens is going to have a good game. I think that Jaylen Warren is going to be that number 1 back in that backfield. I think Najee Harris needs to go, and I think they'll put up some points. But mostly the Jags. I think the Jags is going to be able to score a lot. ETN, like I said, looks great, and these weapons at receiver and tight end. They know how to run after the catch. They know how to make adjustments mid-route. They know how to read their quarterback, Trevor, and he's been very impressive. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take this over. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. What do you think, Ben?
I'm going to take the Steelers in this one. I think the Steelers have been one of the most consistent teams all year. You kind of know what you're going to get. They're like a PB&J. You know what you're going to get. It's never going to be anything special. But it's just it's going to be a solid product, and it's going to be a solid effort. They're going to buy into what they have to do. To this point of the year, I would argue that Tomlin or Dan Campbell are coach of the year. I think Tomlin's doing a great job with what I would consider a pretty low amount of high-end talent on their roster. It's a bit of a word scramble there, but I think the Steelers have been great, and I was pretty high on them before the year. I thought that they were going to be really good, and to this point, they have been. And as we were saying a couple weeks ago, I still haven't bought in to this new Jacksonville Jaguars consistency that they've been playing with. To me, this is the perfect game where they go to Pittsburgh and they just flat out don't have it. The defense is a little bit too much for them to handle, so I'm going to go with the Steelers in this one.
It's very possible. This might be a Tipsy Bowl of the Week contender. Do you agree? I'll take the Jags here, but we'll look at the rest. But this is a contender right here.
This is up there.